this is information that you're definitely going to want to hear. So, if you haven't, tapped into the mind game, if you don't know anything about the mental side, if you're curious about the mental side, if maybe you've dabbled with it a little bit, not far though, compared to what I'm going to help you to see right now today. So, golfers, the topic for today is you are protecting more than what you shouldn't be, what you actually don't want. You don't even realize that you're doing this. So let's dive in. Welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. Hustle hard and Glow, Smile, and Danny and B. So a whole lot of golfers are doing this without even realizing it. And it affects way more than they think it does. It affects trust, it affects tempo, it affects confidence, it affects decision making. It affects the entire emotional tone of the round. And it's this: a lot of golfers are protecting the wrong thing. And that's what I'm going to teach you and explain to you, and then give you a fresh opportunity on how to address it. Because most golfers think the goal is just to like fix the swing, fix the shot, fix the miss, fix the score, fix whatever just happened out there. I've had dozens of PGA Tour Pro clients, and they get the next gadget, right? The next gadget will fix the belly putter, these different things. And yes, mechanics do matter. Of course, there is technical things in golf that absolutely matters. This is not meant to degrade or put any of that down. But a lot of golfers are not just dealing with the mechanics. They don't realize it, right? There's frustration, there's control, there's overthinking, there's self-pressure. There's the need to make up for like the last shot, the fear of another mistake, the urge to steer, the story that something is wrong. And the minute they start protecting those things, they stop protecting what would actually help them, like trust and tempo and freedom and presence and connection, commitment, right? And when I say protecting those things, what I mean is, arguing for them, repeating them, saying them over and over again in your mind, saying them in conversations to others, right? Reinforcing, protecting, defending, right? So that is the shift. There's an opportunity here to take a look at, where you are now compared to where you would like to be and what you would like to do. Oh, let me bring the microphone closer. That would help. The opportunity to improve your shots, to have better scores, to perform as well as you practice. So how do I stop protecting the very state that keeps taking me away from my best golf, right? That is the bigger conversation. And if I had to give you, one big domino for this whole live, it would be this: your golf will keep reflecting what you protect, what you repeat, what you keep strengthening and reinforcing. If you protect fear, control, frustration, overthinking, those get stronger, right? It makes sense. If you start protecting trust and tempo and presence and connection, your game starts changing in that direction. Because once a golfer really gets that and understands that and shifts the way they start thinking about their performance, the mental game stops sounding like some big like extra bonus, or maybe something you believe in or don't believe in, or something you'll take care of or won't take care of, right? It actually becomes obvious that it's something to address and that it is actually the vehicle that will take you from where you are now in your golf game to where you want to be, right? And what you've been doing in your golf and how you've been thinking you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to be, that's all been like physical focused. Your mechanics, the next gadget, changing your putter, all these different things. And instead of that, I want you to see something that can become super obvious to you. And I care about you. I care about your performance. I care about your outcomes. And because I've seen this so many times with athletes, there are so many golfers with plenty of ability, plenty of knowledge, plenty of physical skill, but they keep protecting the wrong things. They hit one poor shot and instantly protect frustration. They got uncomfortable and then they protected control. They got uncertain and then they protected overthinking, right? Like defending it, even in your own mind. They got pressure sensitive and protected self consciousness. They got scared of another miss and protected steering instead of trusting. So if you know a friend that's a golfer, or maybe I was going to suggest that you share this, but I don't know, maybe you want to beat that friend, so don't share it because this will give you the advantage, that's for sure. So if you're protecting, reinforcing, defending, strengthening these things, then you can't really wonder why the round kept slipping away, right? Because a lot of times the answer was not that their swing disappeared, although that's the go-to. If you watch the Golf Channel, you'll see all the time that, oh, it must be their elbow, it must be their swing, must be their new caddy, must be their coach, must be whatever, right? If it was that thing that they kept defending or repeating and reinforcing, then they would already be where they want to be, and they're not there, right? So they're protecting the wrong thing. And that is such a huge light bulb moment, because one bad shot does not have to become a whole bad hole, and one bad hole does not have to become a whole bad round, and one moment of uncertainty does not have to become a whole identity for the day. But for many golfers, it does. And why is that? Because they start protecting what hurts them. They protect the frustration because it feels justified, right? They protect the control because it feels safer than trust. They protect the analysis because it feels smarter than presence. They protect the pressure because it feels more serious than freedom. And that is what costs them. So let's go through some false beliefs, and I'm going to help you to break free from some of those. So I'm going to tell you a secret. The secret number one is, what you thought was going to get you from where you are to where you're going to be is not been working. That's a false belief. This vehicle that's going to get you from where you are now in your golf game to where you want to be, those things aren't working. You keep getting the same results and you keep doing the same thing. So there's some false beliefs around that. And this is where golfers, they believe the answer is mostly more external fixing. All right. So every time something goes wrong, they immediately go to their swing, their grip, their takeaway, their path, their mechanics, my setup, right? My technique. So what I need, they think, what do I need to change right now? And a lot of times that can get even panicked, right? And again, I'm not against mechanics. Mechanics matter, but they're not the only thing, right? And a lot of golfers have only turned to mechanics because there's this whole other world, the mental game that they don't know much about. It's almost like it's an invisible world. But mechanics, a mechanical answer cannot always solve a protected emotional pattern, right? If a golfer is protecting fear of losing, fear of looking embarrassed, fear of, falling apart on the first hole, if they're protecting that control, the mechanics alone will not solve it, right? If a golfer is protecting overthinking, you might even be doing this subconsciously. Just the fact that you keep doing it and then you want to defend it and you want to have conversations in the locker room around it, right? So if you're protecting overthinking, mechanics alone will not solve that. If a golfer is protecting frustration after every miss, repeating frustration, defending frustration, that will not solve the problem. So the wrong vehicle is trying to fix the whole problem externally while ignoring what you are fiercely guarding internally. So the right vehicle is understanding what state of mind you keep protecting and how that state affects how you access your swing, your tempo, your trust, and your natural ability. So that is why my work matters so much in golf, because this is not random mindset talk. It is not just think positive, right? It's not just little surface level golf advice. That Golf Sujo. Hello, Golf Sujo. Lost one. It's a framework, right, for understanding what golfers protect under pressure and how to retrain it. All right, secret number 2 is related to your personal, this is different for each one of you, your internal false belief. So golfers, we can have a false belief like, I'm too old, I'm not as good as I used to be. And this is where, golfers say things like, maybe I'm just not mentally strong. Maybe I always do this. Maybe I'm just not good under pressure. Maybe I can't trust myself. I'm just one of those golfers who gets in my own way. Or I'll never perform as well as I practice. I'm too emotional. I always lose it out there. And I really want to slow this part down for you, because a lot of golfers are making identity statements about what are actually protected patterns. So that is a very big difference. Not identity, pattern. A protected frustration pattern, a protected control pattern, a protected overthinking pattern, a protected self-consciousness pattern, a protected mistrust pattern. And if it is a pattern, it can be changed. And I want you to, pause with that for a moment. If it's a pattern, it can be changed. This is not your identity. It's not who you are. It's a habit, something that's been reinforced. And that's good news because then the golfer stops asking, what is wrong with me? And starts asking, what have I been protecting? That question is much more freeing, right? Because if you have been protecting the wrong thing, you can learn to protect something different. And that is exactly why my framework, helps people, because I help golfers to understand what they keep defending mentally, what they keep protecting emotionally, how that affects access to their real game, how conscious thoughts and habits contribute to their outcomes, how subconscious patterns keep the whole thing familiar, and how to build better inner patterns on purpose. So no, this is not just for, naturally calm golfers. And this is not just for people who never get rattled. This is not just for some lucky few. This is trainable. All right. And then the third secret that I want to share with you today it's related to, these external false beliefs, right? This is where golfers say things like, well, I'd do better and I'm pointing my finger out there, that external thing, if the course were easier, if the conditions were better, if the round didn't matter so much, if I weren't playing with these people, if I didn't care so much, if there weren't, so much pressure, so many things going on out there. If this one thing, if that thing hadn't happened, then I'd be better, right? That's this external belief. And yes, those things can affect people, but golf is never going to remove all that discomfort. There will always be pressure. There will always be imperfect conditions. There will always be moments that you don't like. There will always be shots that ask something of you mentally. So if your peace depends on these ideal external circumstances, your game stays fragile, right? So the answer is not waiting for an easier round. The answer is learning how to stop protecting the wrong state in a real round. And that is where freedom starts. That is where trust starts. That is where one bad shot stops turning into 4 more, right? So let's make this practical. The next time something goes wrong in a round, I want you to ask yourself, what am I protecting right now? Am I protecting frustration? Am I protecting the need to control? Am I protecting the fear? Am I protecting the story? Am I protecting trust, tempo, presence, connection, the next shot? That one question can change a round because it gets the golfer out of autopilot and into awareness. And now that's true transition. Okay. If this is resonating with you, then I already know this goes deeper than, just your swing thought. And you should know that also, right? This is speaking to you. You've had an inclination that there's more going on than just your mechanics. And this is about what you keep protecting while you play. What excuses? What do you protect? What do you reinforce? What do you repeat? What kind of state do you keep defending? What keeps getting stronger in your mind, in your body, and emotionally? What rhythm have you been keeping and repeating because you keep guarding it instead of letting it go? And that is exactly why I created what I've created for golfers, because understanding the idea is powerful, right? But having a full system to retrain it is what changes performance much faster and much more deeply. So here's what I want to share with you related to the framework that I've developed myself to help athletes and golfers. I offer 2 ways for golfers to step into my work specifically. I have a bunch of littler products and services also, but there's 2 primary ways that people can step into my work. There's the main, and it's an online, so the online course is what I want to teach you about right now. There's the main and the optimal. The main option is a monthly subscription. Inside of that, golfers get my exclusive framework, the process that I created that transforms your mind, your body, your habits, your beliefs, your patterns, the programming, 21 video lessons that are each an hour and a half to 2 hours. This is training that has helped PGA Tour pros win millions of dollars, right? In 2008, I helped Vijay Singh win the entire FedEx Cup championship, and I got him past his well-documented putting problem. And if any of you were around back then, it was because of the work I did with him that he called himself the best putter in the world. After a year and a half of well-documented putting problems, and he won the FedEx Cup championship because of the work that we've done together. So the training that I offer works. I've had 219% increase in earnings with the PGA Tour pros that I've worked with in the 5 tournaments after working with me compared to the 5 tournaments before. 219% increase in earnings, and we are talking millions of dollars. So I've brought that training to you in an online course. Again, it's Optimal or Main, and the Main is the 21 video lessons, 1 hypnosis audio that's a training tool throughout, the Mind Mastered Collective, which is a private community I've created for like-minded people that are all going through my program. There's monthly Dialogue with Dawn, which is a live Q&A group session, and where you can ask questions. I'll give you answers. There's this private network that I'm actively involved in, and you get exclusive help by me and exclusive lives and trainings. But there's also several years of recorded Dialogue with Dawn replays. So that's all in the Main. It's a monthly subscription. You can go to dawngrant.com. Under Start Here, you can see there's an entire page for golfers, and you can scroll down and see that online course. But then there's the Optimal online course, and this is deeper and it's lifetime access. So Main is a monthly subscription. Optimal is lifetime access. It includes the full 21 lesson framework. Again, lifetime access forever and ever. Amen. Right? Lesson specific hypnosis audio. So it comes with 19 hypnosis audios instead of the 1 that was in the Main. And those are lesson specific. So you can learn information consciously, but then the hypnosis audios help you to put that information into your memory bank, your programming. So lesson-specific hypnosis audios. Again, the Mind Mastered Collective, which is a private, exclusive, members-only network where they get help from me throughout the month. There's exclusive lives. But then there's also the monthly Dialogue with Dawn, live Q&A calls, and then a full replay library of previous live Dialogue with Dawn Q&A. So these are some great options for you. If you go again to dawngrant.com, Start Here, drop down menus for, you'll see golfers. There's an entire page for you guys. The online courses where you can choose between the Main and the Optimal. There's also hypnosis audios. There's different price points depending on where you're at with your budget and what you're interested in help for. So you can download 1 hypnosis audio for golfers. You can purchase a whole bundle of hypnosis audio specifically for golfers. There is even all access hypnosis where you can pay a monthly subscription and access my several hundred hypnosis audios. So there's lots for you. And I want you to know that, because some golfers do want a monthly subscription entry point. That's why I made the Main online course. And some already know they want the full system, like fuller hypnosis support, lifetime access. And again, that's the Optimal. And that's the stack. You're not just getting information, you're getting a framework, subconscious reinforcement, community, live support, and replay. Whoops, there we go. My screen just turned off. Live to support to help you to stop protecting the very things that keep breaking down your round and start, teaching you how to start protecting the things that support your best game. So if this speaks to you and you are tired of protecting control more than you're protecting trust, then step into this. This is your time. Again, if this is speaking to you, then you're in the right spot. Choose the level that fits you best, whether it's Main or Optimal, because your golf will keep reflecting what you protect. And if you are ready to start protecting the right things, this is exactly what I created this work for. So thanks for tuning in. you can follow my page and you'll see that I give out free tips every single day for athletes and golfers, specifically on certain days. Again, go to dawngrant.com, start here, drop down menu. There's an entire page for golfers. Let me help you, because again, that mental game has probably seemed invisible to you. You probably didn't know what it was or understand or even know where to go for help. So the mental game, worry, doubt, fear, second guessing, regret, overthinking, trying too hard, becoming too cautious, too careful, trying to duplicate, worried about your score, worried about those following and watching you. There's so many different things. And if all you're focusing on is your mechanics and your clubs and your swing, then you are never addressing this invisible game that is affecting your performance. It absolutely is. That's why they say it's 90% mental. A lot of people don't understand what that phrase means. 90% mental means that you can practice all the time, have a great swing, a great game in practice, best clubs, best instructor, best this, best that. And then you show up when it matters at a competition and you fall apart. That has nothing to do with your ability related to your mechanics. Because if you see at times, when you're putting, when you're playing with your friends, when you're on the golf course and you're seeing what you're capable of, and then that's not showing up when it matters on the weekend, on a Saturday in a competition, when the money's on the table, that's not mechanics anymore. That is your mental game. And if you've seen this over and over and over again, probably, then it's time to address your mental game. I am here for you. I want to help you. This is my passion. I help people learn what the zone is and how to perform in the zone. That's your peak performance state. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly how to get you there. So be sure to follow me, and I'll see you hopefully in my private community and in one of the online courses. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next live. See you guys later. Stop